come back to Samaria, both the graduates of the school. Randy, were you 2021?
Yeah.
And you were 2023. So they have a business of educating people about cryptocurrencies. So it's the third year I've had her back to teach us about cryptocurrencies. So Randy, this is a decent crew.
Just decent.
There's some smart kids in here, so we want to know. We want to know about Bitcoin and other crypto.
All right. All right, I guess we could get into it. It's nice to meet you guys. My name is Randi Hipper, also known as Miss Teen Crypto. I'm 21 now. I started this when I was 17, a junior in Savarian, and I was just kind of doing simple videos at first, tweeting about Bitcoin and crypto, and it kind of sprung into making content, traveling the country, and going to schools just like this class to inform more people on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. It's been a wild journey, but my main goal is to educate and to overall bring adoption. So nothing about this is about per se investing. It's about education. It's about learning about a new technology. I remember when I was in elementary school, I had a class every week about how to use PowerPoint. And like that sounds so kind of stupid and simple to us now because look at what we're using every single day. But I think in the future, and I even spoke to the Department of Education, that this will be something that's taught to schools in the future, and this is just the beginning of it. So overall, very simple, very broad explanation of Bitcoin and crypto, how to get started, what is it, how to buy, how to sell, how to store it, and things like that. And if you have any questions, I'm going to leave it open to you guys at the end. So, what is Bitcoin? Essentially, it's a decentralized digital currency, and I know decentralized sounds intimidating, but all it means is that not one single person, there's not a CEO, there's no one per se in charge of the network, and it's just technology that simply exists, like the internet. There's no people that are necessarily in charge of the internet. There's no CEO of the internet. So kind of carry that same mental state into Bitcoin and crypto. And it's using this technology called the blockchain, and basically this is a digital book of every single transaction that's ever gone on is displayed on the internet, on the blockchain. So if you Google, let's say, your Bitcoin username or your Bitcoin address, it'll pull up how much Bitcoin you have, how many transactions you've done in the past, and where that money has moved, which is very different from the traditional system we have now. That's very private, and that's where a lot of things go wrong, is because we can't see where money's going. So this is kind of changing that. How are Bitcoin created? So Bitcoin is mined. So you could think of it as like people putting in that work. So essentially it's called proof of work, where if you have a traditional gold miner and you think of it in this context, like back in the day, they were shoveling in the ground, they were putting that work in, panning out that gold, and then they got that gold as a reward for doing all their work. Essentially what these miners are doing are powering computers, and those computers are solving these complex math problems, and they're all competing to solve a block on the blockchain. So they compete, they use that power, and then once they do solve that block, a block is added to the blockchain, and you are rewarded in Bitcoin. And this is something that secures the network, validates transactions, and the best thing about Bitcoin, one of the best things in my eyes at least, is that there's a finite supply. We know with the current financial system, what's going on there, we're all dealing with something called inflation, where I think our group has seen it the most, our age group, because we grew up where we were going to like the deli, getting erasers and all these little things for like a few pennies each, 50 cents, $1. Now what can you buy with $1? It's because there's constantly being money printed. The cost of living is erupting. But with Bitcoin, there's going to be a cap supply of 21 million. And this is why a lot of people like to hold Bitcoin or invest in Bitcoin, because essentially it creates that store of value, where you know that a lot of people used to work their whole lives, accumulate their dollars, but that dollar is going down in value. So you work your whole life to accumulate what you worked for, but only for it to be devalued without you even having a say in it. So now you're kind of opting into a system where there is a cap supply and it can't be devalued. Now there's a really significant event that's going on, estimated for Friday. So as we're mining Bitcoin, obviously there's new Bitcoin being created. And we don't want to have a space where it's just constantly being printed, there's no control over it. So there's a really significant event that's happening, estimated for Friday, happens every 210,000 blocks, or approximately every 4 years, called the Bitcoin halving. So you have where people are mining Bitcoin, but it gets more scarce because every 4 years the rewards that those miners are getting from mining Bitcoin gets cut in half. So as you can see over time, back in, let's say, 2012, the first halving, where it was originally 50 Bitcoin per block, you could imagine how much money that's worth today, being that Bitcoin's around 60, 70 grand, was $12, 50 Bitcoin cut in half to 25. And the last halving we saw was when I was in Savarian here in 2020, and Bitcoin was around $8,500, and people were calling me crazy for being involved in Bitcoin, but we see how much and how far it's gone, and the adoption. So this is something that's highly significant, and people are looking at this now. So if you look into Bitcoin, you're Googling it, this will probably be the main topic, because obviously there's a lot of people buying Bitcoin, and the amount of Bitcoin that's being put into circulation cut in half, that kind of creates that supply shock. And people are like, okay, now obviously the price may appreciate since simple supply and demand, which I'm sure you've gone over in this class. Also, one of the best things about Bitcoin being that, again, it can't be devalued. It's peer-to-peer currency. So a lot of us deal with that every day with cash. When you transact with cash, it's person to person. There's no intermediaries. There's no banks. There's no one to tell you, no, you can't transact. And it's something, of course, you're in control of. You have your money in your pocket. You're in control of where it goes. This is why I love Bitcoin, because so many people, and I'm sure you guys have family in other countries, people sending money internationally, the fees are crazy. People aren't able to get their money across. It's not timely. Whereas something with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, you send it, it doesn't matter who you are, where you are in the world, whether you're banked or not, which gives more accessibility to people that may not have access to banking, the ability to transact and hold something. I don't know if you guys know, in other countries, it's very hard for people to even have a bank account because there are so many fees associated with it. Even in the US, if you have under $500 in your bank account, you'll get charged fees every month just for not having enough money. So right there and then, it's very difficult to even afford to have a bank account. So the fact that it's peer-to-peer transfers, anyone can get involved. So it really evens the playing field. And like I said, it's borderless. So anyone, anywhere in the world can transact instantly as long as they have an internet connection, and you can, even if you get technological with it all, you could transact over radio waves. So there's just so many ways to use Bitcoin, but again, most importantly, it's something that opens that door to everyone. And you're going to be your own bank. There's this tweet here that if you guys wanted to open it up, this presentation is on my website. This is the most important part, being your own bank. So I went over the blockchain, how basically anyone anywhere in the world could be a miner, you could transact in Bitcoin, you are your own bank. This is so important because it goes back to why Bitcoin was created. And it's because of the 2008 financial crisis and the banks essentially collapsing. We had this happen in March of 2023, so just over a year ago, and I was literally doing a presentation as this was happening, so it was very relatable for that class. But there are banks that are shutting down, and it's because they're not following the rules, or they may not actually have the money they say they do, or they're just making bad investments. When it comes down to it, every bank is a business, and as we know, businesses do fail. And we're seeing all around the world that money's failing, and you need to be in charge of your own money. Because if the bank closes tomorrow, if something goes wrong with the interbanking system, no one's able to transact. No one has access to money. You always have to think, what if I show up like these guys did to my bank, everyday people, working paycheck by paycheck, and they don't have access to their money? That's not right. So that's why with Bitcoin and crypto, you are able to be your own bank. And we'll get into a little bit later how you could get your own wallet and how you could get your own Bitcoin to practice what we call self-custody. You always want to be in control of your money. I'm not saying pull your money out of the bank. I'm not telling you what to do. But I think you should always diversify where you have your money and always have access to it. That is so important. You can't always rely on one thing. Like, you can't put all your eggs in one basket. There are, of course, a lot of different types of cryptocurrencies, probably total over 20,000 coins and tokens, but obviously we're not going to get into that just yet. We're going to go over a few of them that are the most popular and ones that I feel like you should know about and just do some research into, ones that are really crucial to the space. Obviously, we have Bitcoin, which was the OG, launched in 2009, and then you have Litecoin. So Litecoin is basically the silver to Bitcoin's gold, Bitcoin's little bro, and there's a cap supply, just like Bitcoin has 21 million. This is 4 times that, 84 million. It's the longest running blockchain, which is very important. If you're using technology like the internet or even Facebook, Instagram, we've had a lot of problems lately where we go on Instagram and it's just not working. We can't post, we can't communicate. That's, again, putting some of your eggs in one basket because people solely use Instagram. Now, how can I communicate? That's why you need to not only diversify your money, but diversify the technology as well in crypto, which is why I love things like Litecoin, because it's so reliable. It's always been there. It's never had an issue. It's good for those microtransactions. It's good for basically anything, a penny or less in fees, which if you use your debit card at the store or at restaurants now, you see that they're giving you discounts for using cash. And that's because it's getting so expensive to use the cards. And that's why I always offer crypto as an alternative, because it's so fast and cheap, and obviously anyone could use it and transact with it. And then you got things like Dogecoin, which I'm sure you guys know about. That's probably the most popular thing I've seen out of our age group is Dogecoin. Dogecoin is somewhat like Bitcoin, has the same code, is basically just a little bit different because it doesn't have a cap supply. Obviously, a few technical things are different about it. It's a meme. It was created literally as a joke. It's Elon Musk's favorite cryptocurrency. And it's the same mining, proof of work. It's inspired by memes, obviously. And I love the sentiment of Dogecoin because DOGE, the community kind of turned it into doing something positive, doing only good every day. I was recently at a place called Williamsburg Pizza in the city in Manhattan. They have multiple locations, and I posted a video you guys could see on my socials of me transacting with Dogecoin to buy pizza. So people are like, who's accepting Dogecoin? What are people doing? Yes, people are actually accepting Doge, accepting cryptocurrencies for their business because, again, it's easy, it's accessible, it's exciting, and people want to use it. When I went to this event, people from California, Tennessee, Virginia, Florida, people from all over the country literally came just to transact in crypto. I see a lot of places, a lot of stores, restaurants starting to accept crypto as well. So like I said, we're very early in the space, but something like Dogecoin is really carrying adoption in terms of something that's just relatable. It's fun, and a lot of people are using it as money. So I think it's pretty amazing as well. And this was launched in 2014 and has some technical ties to Bitcoin and Litecoin. Then you have things like Ethereum. I'm sure you guys have probably heard about this one. Ethereum kind of twisted that technology, where we had Bitcoin that's mostly used for payments. Now people are putting art and things on it, but mainly used for payment, store of value. Same with Litecoin, and kind of with Dogecoin as well. Now you have Ethereum that's kind of opening that door for something called DeFi, decentralized finance. Basically, it's a reimagined digital version of what we're already doing in finance, except it has that notion of you being in control of your money. You get to sign where your money moves, and you're basically in control of everything. And with traditional finance, TradFi, you have the stock market, where if something gets too volatile, there are stocks that are going bananas, they halt it because they're like, oh no, people are going to get hurt, the hedge funds are going to get hurt. And that's not really a free market like they tell you it is, versus things that are built on Ethereum and other cryptocurrencies that give you access to that decentralized financial system where you're always in control. It's 24/7 trading, and there's not one person that's controlling the market or one entity that's halting stocks. That can't happen in crypto, which is why I really love it as well, because you're in charge. You also have things on Ethereum like NFTs, decentralized applications. So a lot of people have probably heard of NFTs. You've probably seen like one of these little things, one of these little bros. This is called a Bored Ape, and this was actually sold at Sotheby's, one of these expensive bougie art galleries, for around $3.4 million back in 2021. Granted, these are crazy numbers for a digital image, but it just goes to show how people really value the point of you owning something. No one else, you could download this image just like I did, but it doesn't mean I own it. Just like if someone printed the Mona Lisa, hung it in their bathroom, that doesn't mean they own the Mona Lisa. They like it, they like the image, they could print it, they could copy it, but it's not actually the asset itself. Same goes for NFTs. If you have that NFT in your wallet, you're the only person that owns it. No one can take it from you. And with the gift of blockchain, let's say we have something like the Mona Lisa, and it was an NFT. You would be able to see every single transfer that since it was made, how much someone paid for it, where did it go. And I think we do really need this a lot with art, especially we're always debating, is something real, is it not? There's no debate about if something is real or authentic when it comes to crypto. So NFTs can be something like gaming. Gaming is really popular in crypto, where people are getting something like a Fortnite skin, right? We get like a character in the game. Traditionally, when you buy a character in a game, like I used to have my iTunes gift cards, take my digital money, go buy digital games, buy digital assets, buy digital coins to transact in the game. You're doing the same exact thing in crypto, except you actually own it. So all of this money that essentially we invested into our gaming life, we actually just don't own any of it. And it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't benefit you, only except if you're using that character or those coins at that time on your account. So if you have like a character, for example, in a game, and it's a Web3 game, you're able to sell that. You're able to transfer it to a friend. You're able to list it on a market where other people can buy it from you. Or you can rent it. So I know a lot of us, we go into big phases with certain games, and we just take a break. We're not playing anymore. You could essentially rent your character out. People can use your character, and you get a sum of what they earned in the game. So let's say they're supposed to earn 1,000 coins, you get a 50% split, and that's something you could kind of make up with them. So there's a lot more utility, a lot more things you can do with your games, and essentially everything, music, art, being able to buy someone's music directly from them, know what copy you have, all of that is really important. And again, you being your own bank, you being able to own all of your assets and have it not being able to be taken away from you, being able to just actually do something with it that traditionally you can. Even with books, we're buying books on iBooks all the time. Can we send it to a friend when we're done with it? Can we just sell it when we're done? No. But in Web3 now you can, because you're in control. Now we're going to get into how to buy crypto, Bitcoin, and just bear with me a little bit because it's a lot more simple than a lot of people think. People get really intimidated when it comes to Bitcoin and crypto because they think it's for nerds. They're like, oh, this is too smart for me, too nerdy. It's just money. It's just digital currency, just like how you buy your iTunes gift cards, you buy your Visa, MasterCard gift cards, prepaid gift cards. This is like the same thing. So simple. The most important thing is that you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin or exchange for a whole Bitcoin, which I'll get into in a moment. But we know 100 cents is $1. Carry that idea over to Bitcoin, and you have 100 million Satoshis, or sats, equals 1 Bitcoin. So a little background on Satoshi. Satoshi Nakamoto is an anonymous inventor of Bitcoin, and basically just put this technology out there, and of course people took part in it, built upon it, and brought it to where it is now. So like I said, there is no CEO, there's no one in charge of the network, but that's just where the name Satoshi comes from. You could call it sats or whatever you like, but you got 100 million Satoshis is equal to 1 Bitcoin, just like 100 cents is $1. And again, you could just exchange your dollar for another currency, just like how you go to the airport, right? If you go to an airport and you're going to a currency exchange, you're not thinking, oh, I'm investing in another currency, because a lot of people are, again, saying they're investing in Bitcoin, which, again, you could look at it from the investment side, but also, again, it's simply a currency exchange. So if you've ever gone to the airport, you see these currency exchanges where you could exchange your dollar for euros. Both of these currencies, the dollar, the euro, all of these currencies listed here, they fluctuate in value every single day. So it's not just like Bitcoin is the only thing that moves. These currencies move as well. And basically what you do at the airport is you go up to the exchange and you say, I'm going to exchange my dollars for euros, and you take those euros and you put them in your pocket, in your wallet, and you go spend it as is. take that same exact thing digitally. You're going to a digital exchange, you're exchanging your digital dollars for another digital currency like Bitcoin. You take that Bitcoin and you put it in your own digital wallet, so that way you are your own bank and you're in control. So, like I said, it's very simple. There are a few good exchanges to buy from. If you guys want to scan this QR code, this is to Coinbase, a really popular exchange. Gemini is also available. And Cash App is a really good spot to buy Bitcoin because I think their fees are really good, pretty cheap over there. Venmo and PayPal also have 4 cryptocurrencies listed. So you guys are on PayPal, Venmo. They have Bitcoin, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and I believe Ethereum on there. So those are 4 cryptocurrencies that are pretty popular based upon payment processors like Venmo and PayPal. Cash App is Bitcoin only for right now, but like I said, I would check them out to buy it. And that's if you're 18. So I think, are you guys seniors or juniors? Juniors.
Mainly juniors.
Juniors. So you guys are almost 18. So if you guys have a parent, obviously they could sign up and do this for you. But if you're under 18, you could go to something called a Bitcoin ATM. They're throughout the city. They're also more popular out of New York because New York is very strict with all the legal side of things. But Bitcoin ATMs are really amazing because it's just like a regular ATM where you put your dollars into the ATM, it scans your phone, and it sends you your Bitcoin or any crypto that you're buying from it. And I think it's so simple, it's so easy. There's no information really required, probably except for a phone number, so you don't have to go through all of the exchanges and all of that craziness. You could literally just go up to an ATM and get your Bitcoin.
Randy, you have to have a wallet.
Yes.
To do that, right? Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to get into that right now. So how are you going to store your Bitcoin, crypto, and NFTs? So we're going to, again, this is all going back to being your own bank, because once you have your wallet, your digital wallet, you are in control. Just like, again, your physical wallet, you have your cash in there, you're in control of where it goes. First, you're going to download a wallet. I'll give you 3 good wallets to download in a moment. You're going to get something called a recovery phrase. Now, this is where it becomes a responsibility for you to be your own bank. We all know our social security numbers, passwords, all that sensitive information should never, ever touch the internet. Why? Because if someone has that sensitive information about you, they can take all your money out of your bank account. They could steal your identity, which personally my family has dealt with. It's not fun. So that's why in crypto, you want to kind of detach all of that information. No one can use it against you, but also the fact that you have to take on the responsibility of not relying on anyone else. There's no bank you could call. There's no one that you could say, hey man, like I need help. No, you're on your own, which is what we want, because we don't want to rely on anyone else to have control over our money and our finances but us. So that's why we call this a recovery phrase. You get 12 to 24 random words when you download it. This is basically a stronger password. No one else could get this password. Every person that downloads a wallet gets these words. Everything's different. And if you lose, let's say you drop your phone in a puddle, you lose your wallets, it's all good. As long as you have these words, you're able to just re-enter them, download an app, re-download them, and your funds are recovered. Everything comes back. So I wouldn't worry about anything crazy about if you lose your phone, your crypto's gone. This is what's important, because your crypto is not stored on your phone. Your crypto is stored on the blockchain, because that's where the technology lives. So this is what you got to worry about. Your recovery phrase. Never lose these. Never give these to anyone, just like your social security numbers, your passwords, anything of significance to your life. Do not give them to anyone. Anyone that has access to these could download a wallet, enter these 12 to 24 words, and get everything you have. So make sure you do not give this to anybody. And I also recommend that you don't store them in your iCloud or take a screenshot, because if someone has access to your iCloud or they SIM swap you, which people have been getting attacked through text messaging lately, they'll have access to it. So make sure you guys keep this completely offline. Now, there's 2 different types of wallet. One is called a hot wallet because it's hot because it's connected to the internet. It's active. It's always being used. So make sure, if again, you know the difference. Hot wallet is a wallet on your phone. It's just an app. Really simple, really easy. And then you also have some recommendations here called Cake Wallet, cakewallet.com, or an app. You have a Trust Wallet, which I really like too. and then you have the My Doge app. So if you guys are interested in Dogecoin, I recommend the My Doge app because you have custody over your crypto. Like I said, you get those words, which makes you your own bank. You could post memes on there. People tip each other with Dogecoin. You could connect your X to it or your Twitter and start tipping your friends on Twitter. It's really fun, really awesome. You could buy gift cards for Fortnite and a bunch of different things using Dogecoin on this app. You could buy merch, a bunch of cool things. Cake Wallet has really good stuff on there where you could use Cake Pay, and basically with that you could buy prepaid gift cards and load that onto your Apple Pay. So if you have crypto, you want to spend it, you buy a gift card, add it to your Apple Pay, and go spend it in the stores. And there's a bunch of other stores that you could directly buy digital gift cards with using your crypto and spend it online. Hot Wallet, the wallet for your phone. And then if you don't want to carry your crypto around, you have a significant amount that you're like, I don't want to carry this on my body every day, I'm a little bit nervous. This is where you upgrade your Zest. This is where you upgrade your storage and you go cold. So Hot, again, is connected to the internet, could always be touched, versus this cold wallet where it's offline. Basically, you could get something like this. This is a ledger where it's basically like an encrypted USB drive, you could think of it as, so that if someone hacks your phone, if someone hacks like your iCloud or whatever it is, they do not have access to this because it's on a device, it's offline. But most importantly, you have to buy directly from the people that are selling it, because just like any piece of technology, like if you're buying an iPhone, you're not going to buy that off eBay, you're not going to buy that off of a shady website, you're going to go directly to Apple and you're going to buy that iPhone or go to your carrier. Same thing applies here. Only buy from directly the website. You don't want it to be tampered. Every cold wallet you receive will be wrapped up nice and tight, so you'll know if someone messed with it. But if someone hacks your phone, your iCloud, this is something that they cannot touch. If you want some recommendations, there's something like Ballet, which is really simple and easy, where this one you don't have to really worry about recovery phrases. Everything is on this card. Then you have Trezor and then Cool Wallet. So these are just a few recommendations that I really like, really simple. And you want things that are like open source, as they say in crypto, meaning that every single piece of its code is out there for all the nerds to read. So Cake Wallet is open source, so everything that goes into that wallet, people know that they can't mess around, that they can't take your money, it can't get hacked. And Bitcoin is open source too. That's why there's a lot of different versions of Bitcoin, because the technology is open, anyone can use it and create from it. So same thing applies to the wallet technology as well. So these are three really good options. Now let's go through step by step of kind of how this works. So let's rewind this a little bit. So basically, if you want to sign up on an exchange, you want to get that crypto going, it's only 7 steps. So again, what I talked about might seem like a little crazy, a little intimidating of sorts, but it's really not. You download an exchange app, you complete all the necessary information, like you have to do something called KYC, know your customer. You have to put your name, your information, your license, and a few other things. This applies to literally every other financial institution out there, so something like this is not crazy, but on Cash App you already did that, and you could just get access to your crypto and investing there. So essentially, all you have to do is sign up on an exchange, download a wallet, like I outlined, you write your recovery phrases down, you have your Bitcoin address out, you're ready, you go to the exchange, and you buy your Bitcoin. Let's see if I can rewind this. Okay, there you go. So you go to Cash App, you press buy. Let's say I'm buying $5 of Bitcoin. There you go, you confirm. Then, once you do that, you go to your wallet app, you get your Bitcoin username or your address, you copy it, go back to the exchange, press send, paste that address, or enter, well, first enter the amount that you're sending, paste. Then all you got to do is click send. And that's literally it. So once you press send, you confirm, you go back to your wallet app, and it should be right there. So it's literally 7 steps, so easy. I literally showed you how to do it in less than a minute. Again, all you got to do is go to the exchange, select the amount you're buying or swapping for. You take that, you go to your wallet, you copy your address, go to the exchange, paste, send. Literally so simple, done under a minute. And again, if you want to see this presentation, if you have any questions, I got you in a few minutes, but also this is on my website. Crypto survival tips. I plead with every single one of you, do your own research. If you're investing in a stock, if you're investing in real estate, you're investing in anything, you're going to think to yourself, why do I like this? What is it worth to me? What use does it have? That's what you have to do in crypto. Any investment, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Know what you're investing in, know what technology you're using, and that way you don't make mistakes along the road, and you take it slow. Always, always, always practice self-custody. I want you to be your own bank. I want you to be in control. We have so many exchange issues where maybe exchanges aren't functioning right, or even the banks where they're not open, or you can't transact the way you want to transact because they won't let you. You are able to be your own bank, and you have 100% control over your assets when you have your crypto in your wallet. Same thing like physical, carry it over to the digital. Start small, don't rush. It's not a race. Bitcoin and crypto will always be here for lifetimes and lifetimes to come. So don't worry about saying, oh my gosh, I have to do this now, I have to invest now. Never FOMO, never have the fear of missing out. It's always going to be there. So that's pretty much all I got for you guys. And that was just a nice little broad summary of crypto, what it is, how to buy, store, and move it. And if you guys have any questions, let's get after it.